bet smart all the time, every time, and you're going to win more than you lose. And when you do that, if you bet 60%, dude, 53, 54%, if you can't hit that, then you shouldn't be betting because you're obviously not doing things the right way.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 with the perfect scope. Trust go in the process, understand it when you work it, grow. I'm the best you never heard before. Blessed to have this urban glow. Set aside semantics, I'm the one.
Welcome back to Nobody's Safe. Nobody's safe, nobody's safe. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. I am back with the frenemy, Mr. Bryce Pinson. And if you love college football, you are definitely in the right place. So before you forget, make sure to smash that subscriber button. Like our videos, ring the bell so that you do not miss one moment of the Nobody's Safe podcast. Mr. Bryce Pinson, this is our college football weekly pick show. We are going to, it could evolve a little bit. I feel like, folks, we're starting off, we're going to do 7 games today. We're going to give you 7 games that we really feel good about. I am of the opinion that you want to take your best games and put the most amount of money on the best games. That is the way I bet. That's the way I've always bet. Being in Vegas, it's you don't have to bet 16 games in an NFL week. You don't. You can bet the ones you know are going to win. We're doing college football. I think that it's even harder to bet these guys. So, Bryce, what do you think? I mean, we're going to go with 7. I really like these 7.
I'm going to tell you a couple things. I listen to a few shows. I watch a few shows when it comes to betting. One thing I'm going to say right now, just to start things off, I'll tell you who ain't safe right now, and that's the bookies. The bookies are not safe on this show. So that's who's not safe today. But number 2 is we were going to do this show and we thought, let's do it from an entertainment standpoint and let's argue about this crap and see who does better. But then what we decided is if we put our brains together, Jason has a certain expertise with these coaches and these coordinators, and he's a football junkie. And I watch a lot of the players and I have different expertise on different teams. And we're like, you know what? Let's just – all these other shows where they're arguing and talking trash and people like that, screw that. Let's just win.
Mm-hmm. Let's just win. And you know what? Hey, look, what did we say before? We've said it a bunch of times. If you follow us, you want to win. So and that goes with fantasy football with Bryce. I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't been paying attention to what he's doing with fantasy football, his TikToks, what he's talking to you about, you don't want to win. So, and I'm telling you now, we are never, ever, ever going to put out a pick on this show that is marginal, or we believe that that there's a way. I mean, are we going to win every one of them? Of course not. But we will never, ever, ever fade a team because we just want to, or we think that maybe there's a chance. I'm going to give you the best picks that I can give you every week. And that's how I mean, this is how I approach betting. This is what I feel about it. And so to me, these are our best 7 that we looked at for the entire week of week 1.
Well, I'll tell you,
I just feel like
let me jump in. I'll tell you right now. So if y'all would have saw us before the show, we had our picks. We studied. We got together. We studied before we hit the show. And then we had some picks that we really liked, and we disagreed on some of them. We talked each other out of some stuff, and we took some stuff off. We had like 12 games, and we narrowed it down to 7.
Cincinnati, Arkansas, we couldn't come together on it. We weren't. We just weren't going to come together on it. So, and honestly, these are games, again, folks, if you're not real damn sure, don't bet it.
Exactly.
Do not bet it.
Yeah,
this is your hard-earned money you're talking about.
Smart stuff. Hey, bankroll. Like, don't ever bet, hey, I like this game more. Let's put a whole bunch more on this one. Hey, we're trying to hit 60%. We're trying to hit 60%.
Bet smart all the time, every time, and you're going to win more than you lose. And when you do that, if you bet 60%, dude, 53, 54%, if you can't hit that, then you shouldn't be betting because you're obviously not doing things the right way.
I want to say one more thing. This is a common mistake I see a lot of people make. They'll get hot and they'll do one of 2 things. You'll lose all 7 games and then you'll start betting more to try to get your money back. That's a mistake because you might lose all 7 games. But what I see is someone who gets hot, they'll win 5 in a row. Then they'll bet another one and they'll bet triple the money on that one and they'll win that one. And then they're like, you know what? I'm killing it. I'm all in on this one. And bam,
let it ride. Let it ride, baby. Let it ride.
Exactly. And then bam, they only lost 1 game, but they lost money.
Right.
Don't do that.
This is
Bet
always
the same amount. Get a plan. Have a plan.
And just to give you guys, hey, just for our disclaimer, it's all on our website. It's everywhere else. We are not responsible for what you do based upon our predictions. If you screw it up, and we screw it up, because I'm going to tell you now, there is no way that we're going to get all these right. If I hit 58%, I'm going to be very happy. So we're going to try to hit our 60%, and I'm going to tell you that we are not responsible for what you do and don't do. That you can win with us if you bet with us and you bet smart and you don't do the things that we're talking about, the dumb stuff, then you're going to win money. So stick with us if you want to win, but if you don't, it ain't our problem, okay? I don't want to hear it. All right, starting off. All right, here we go. Game 1, Houston, University of Houston at University of Texas, San Antonio. This is, I think this is simple. I love UTSA as a program, what they have become from the day that they started to what they are today. I feel like in week 3, if they were to catch Texas in a hangover over there getting drugged the week before by Alabama, that's a spot that you could see them winning a big game. Are they probably going to know? That's how I feel about this Houston game. I think that Houston is 10 times better than Texas right now. And I believe that, that's probably not correct. I think that Houston's better than Texas right now. I think that Houston coming into the Big 12 is a program that's on a high. They're happy about where they are.
Motivated.
And I feel like this is definitely motivated to, I feel like they're even on the road here. This is a spread that started off at 7, 6, 6.5, I think.
Here, I can pull it up if we need to.
Now it's -4 for Houston. I think that they win by at least a touchdown here. I wouldn't be surprised if it was by more. I think this is pretty easy. We're going with Houston here.
Yeah, hey, same thing. I think the biggest thing, if y'all think – I'm a history buff, guys. I really am. I start thinking about what happened in the past. If y'all remember whenever Texas A&M and Missouri went into the SEC, that high that they were on, that motivation, that energy, they both played well. And Houston's about to do
Missouri
the same
got
thing.
To the conference championship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Texas A&M beat Alabama. That was Johnny Football's year. It was a big deal. And I think Houston does the same thing. I don't think 4 points is enough, and I like Houston too, based on the fact that motivation is on their side.
Right. Okay. So Houston, folks. Houston -4.
That's a good line for us. That's a good line for us.
It's a great line when it starts at 6. So, all they got to do is win by 5. I think you should get value there. That's what we're looking for as a bettor. You want value at all times, okay? All right, Arizona at San Diego State. Now, this is kind of going the other way. But what I would tell you is that I really like San Diego State here. A year ago, they blew out Arizona in the opener in Tucson. 38-14, that was Jed Fish's home opener for his career there at Arizona. I don't think that we have to be too crazy. They run the football very well here. They play good defense. Brady Hoke has shown that he's a better coach than he was at Michigan. I think that job was over his head. He keeps the Aztecs doing what they're doing. They're giving 6. I think they probably win by 2 touchdowns.
So
easy.
Just let's kind of educate a little bit on these lines a little bit, because for some of the newcomers, one thing about getting 6 when it opens up at 10 and you're like, oh, that's great value. We agree. However, when you do that, you're staring at the sharps and you're telling them they're wrong. So on these 2 games, I think these are our only 2 games where we're not with the sharps, which we don't even care what the sharps do. But we love it when we get value. We got 4 points. They took it the other way, and they gave us 4 extra points, getting -6 rather than -10. I think Arizona is a bad football team.
I think that they had it right to start with, and that's something that you want to think about, is that the odds makers usually aren't wrong.
Very true.
I mean, if you look at the totals, the over-under, all that kind of stuff, they're usually
pretty good.
Right there.
Yep.
Right there within a point or so. So
the 4-point swing
when you
is
look
a
at
big
this,
deal.
and now we're getting extra points, I feel like the line only moved because of the sharp betting, and sometimes it'll move because of public betting.
I think this time it's sharp betting. I think this time it's sharp betting on this game. Sure. And that's okay. Sometimes I get pumped, Jason. I look them in the eye and say, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. I don't care how sharp you are. You're wrong. And in this case, they're wrong. San Diego State wins that game by more than a touchdown because Arizona's a bad football team, and
even
San
though
Diego
they're
State's a good football team.
yeah, and the other thing is San Diego State, they're opening their new stadium. There's big atmosphere around there this weekend. This is a big deal for them. This is a big deal. Okay, this next one is the one that is a little concerning. NC State, number 13, on the road at East Carolina. NC State giving 11. Now, the book opened at 10 here, and we're going to be on the right side of this as well. I believe that ECU, they have been a solid American Conference football team. They've gone from Skip Holtz and all these other guys, Ruffin McNeil. These guys win freaking football games. And now that they have, what is it? This is head coach Mike Houston's fourth year. They have a fifth-year senior, Holton, fifth-year starter, Holton Allers. They're expecting big things from him, 4,000 yards at least between passing and running. Listen, I like NC State an awful lot as a team, and I do not want anybody to think that I'm bad-mouthing NC State here in any way because I'm not. What I would tell you
is our money.
I love my money, and where this started was at 10, and it's now moved to 11, and that is not good for NC State on the cover. And I think this is a hard game to go deal with on the road, and it's the first game of the year. Maybe you're not as sharp as you want to be. This is a big position. I think East Carolina is the bet here.
Oh, dude, they circled this game on the calendar. I used to live over there in Greenville. NC State, East Carolina circled the NC State game on the calendar. Sure. They're extra motivated. They want to win this football game. It's the first game of the season. It's at home. I'll tell you what, the line should have been 8. I know it opened at 10. In my opinion, the line should have been 8. We're getting 11. That's value. I'm getting the more motivated team. I'm getting the little brother who's always pissed off that he gets beat by the big brother. I love it. Fifth-year starter, coach that's been there forever.
Well, not even getting any kind of recognition. Absolutely.
Let's go.
I think that I honestly believe that East Carolina could win. I doubt that they win. I expect NC State wins.
Well, they're covering. They're covering.
What?
They're covering the spread.
They cover. East Carolina's going to cover. Absolutely. That's again. The value is there for us to make this play. Just like you said you felt like this was an 8-point spread.
I do.
It started at 10 and it moved to 11.
We got 3 points.
And I mean, these guys are on the road. This is a perfect position for you to take points. This is value for you as a bettor. You get more points.
I love it. Let's go.
ECU there. Okay. These next two are these are the big games. Again, we always want to go with our best bet just because of the fact of,
these are probably our best two bets, though. Honestly,
but these two best games coming up, these two next games coming up are the marquee games in the college season for Saturday. The first one being Oregon versus Georgia. Game is in Atlanta. Georgia is giving 17.5 points to Oregon, Oregon is at number 11. Georgia's number 3, of course. Listen, folks, I don't really see this as that hard either. I know that the line moved a little bit. What is it, 14.5?
To 17, because the Sharps believe that Georgia's going to beat the brakes off Oregon.
And so do I.
So do I.
And even though Dan Lanning knows this team, I think that if you're Dan Lanning, you probably wish that game's not on your schedule right off the freaking gate. You just won a national title with this team. Now you got to go in there and deal with this. They've got the same quarterback coming back. Georgia's got them coming back. Stetson Bennett. They did lose some guys. We talked about that. They lost a lot of guys off the defense. One thing about Georgia, they're kind of built like Alabama at this point. They've lost guys over the last 3 or 4 years, and they continue to go to the playoff every year. So, I mean, Kirby Smart has got his program just how he wants it. He won his first national title a year ago. I don't think that he's going to start off the next season getting even tested by Oregon in this game. I just don't see it. I really don't. And the other fact that I coupled this with is that Bo Nix doesn't, if he got the job, he doesn't have a real strong grasp on it. It took him a while to get the starting position there at Oregon, even against a young guy. And you know what? As much as everybody loves Bo, I don't. The guy throws picks in bad positions, and I just saw him do it too much at Auburn. This wasn't really hard for me. I just think Georgia wins easy. I think that they win by 3 touchdowns.
Here's more reasons why, if you don't like it. One, I know they lost more people than I think ever. I think they might have broke records for how many people they lost to the NFL. But who cares? Like he said, they just reload and multiple things that I can think of here. One of them, think about this, like, when you have y'all heard the word Super Bowl hangover? It's never for the team that wins the Super Bowl. It's always for the team that
always
loses.
The one that loses.
The team that wins, man, think of how big your head is. You're walking into the building. I got a Georgia freaking G on my helmet. We are the best team in the world. I guarantee you, Oregon.
And we're in Atlanta, too. That's the other part. They're freaking in Atlanta.
And Oregon is traveling all the way from Oregon to Atlanta to make the trip. Bro, what time is that in the morning? That's a 4-hour.
It's at one. It's a 1:30 game, so it's a 3-hour difference.
Way,
it's a 1:30 game.
They might
it's
be
1:30 Mountain. I'm sorry.
I've heard.
Oh, it's actually a 3:30. So it's going to be a noon 12:30 game.
It doesn't matter.
Oregon.
It doesn't matter because the body clock is not going to be correct. And I'm telling you, everything points to Georgia. I don't care who's on the field. The guys with the G's are going to have a little bit of extra swagger because they won that national title, and they're beating the brakes off of Oregon. Easy pick.
Got it. Utah at Florida. We've
been talking a lot about Utah.
Number 7 Utah at Florida. It's what's the spread? 3? Was that right?
I think it's 3.
Yeah,
it was
3.
1, and now it's 3.
It was 1. It moved to 3. I don't think 3 is enough. I think that I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll say it again. Kyle Whittingham is the most underrated coach in college football. He has built an amazing program at Utah. It seems like he's been there for 100 years. But, I mean, didn't he take the job after Urban left? Golly, that's crazy if that's the case. This guy has done the job, though, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think that he's a great coach. I think that they won the Pac-12 a year ago. They come in ranked number 7 in the country. Florida, Billy Napier I feel like he's going to turn the Gators around. He's done really good in recruiting. What I don't think is that they're going to be able to deal with what they're going to get from Utah this first game out of the block. And I think that it's more than 3 points. I mean, at 1.5, I certainly would have loved Utah here. I still like them at 3. I just do. It's not, that's losing value a little bit. But again, I just don't see Utah losing this game. I don't know.
One, I hope I just didn't cough into the mic. I apologize if I did. I thought I muted it. However, one thing that you said that was interesting, I had to look it up because, hey, listen, Jason's the expert when it comes to coaches, coordinators, and stuff like that. I'm a fantasy football guy, guys. I just like watching the game. I like watching players, and I can spot talent. Jason can too. I'm not saying that, and I do know some coaches. But anyways,
Kyle talent in coaches too, though, man, and there's a place for that in betting as well.
Kyle Whittingham has been at Utah since 1994 as a D-line coach. Defensive coordinator, 95-96. DC linebacker coach, 1997, 1998 and 2000. He's the DC and safety, so he's coached every position. 2001 to 2004, DC and linebacker coach, and since 2005. This guy has been the coach.
Yeah, I knew it. He got the job after Urban.
Yeah. That's incredible you knew that, by the way. Anyways, let me jump into why I think, one, and I think it comes down to Kyle Whittingham. I trust him. Utah is another team that has a lot to prove as far as, hey, we don't even know what conference we're going to be in a couple years. They head down to the Swamp. The Swamp's not a great place to play, but I think a lot of bettors see the Swamp and see Florida as an easy win and stuff like that. I mean, sorry, if you bet on Florida, they're betting on the name, they're betting on the Swamp, and they're discounting the fact that Utah is good every single season. A lot of it,
especially early on, you're going to bet on hope. And right now, everybody's hope is the same. They feel like they got a good coach there. Billy Napier is a great coach. What's he going to do there? I don't know yet. You don't either. So to me, I know that Whittingham has been around forever.
Yep.
And he knows that this is not his first big road game. This is not his first time to have to go into a rough place. They're the Pac-12 champions. This is not a hard one.
Yeah, we got Utah and the Sharps agree on this one. They're with us. So just so you know, if you wanted to know, the Sharps agree. We're good.
Okay, so on Sunday night, we're going to move to the Sunday night game real quick. It's Florida State at LSU. Obviously, this is – give me the line on that one again.
Give me a second. That's Sunday night. This one was hard
Florida
for me.
State at LSU. This is Brian Kelly's
-2.5. It moved from -3 to -2.5. That tells me the Sharps like Florida State, and I'll tell you the Sharps are absolutely wrong.
Yeah, I don't like – and you know what?
It's not even the Sharps. You know what it might be, too? It might be the fact that –
this could be betting.
Well,
that's good.
Jason,
that's probably a betting
The
line.
last thing we saw was last week, Florida State destroying a garbage team. We know that they have one of the better dual threat quarterbacks in the country. We saw them freaking light it up. And I think that the last thing we remember is Florida State being pretty dang good. And now the line moves half a point. I think that's what it is. But we haven't seen LSU yet.
Listen, and here's the thing. I think that there's a lot of folks that Florida State's fan base is different. I'm not saying that LSU doesn't have a fabulous fan base, because it does. But Florida State's fan base seems to be a bit more spread out is what I would get at. So you're going to get a lot more betting on a Florida State team in Vegas than you're probably going to get an LSU team from fans, I should say, from fans, right? I mean, people in Vegas they love to bet LSU because it's LSU. But I got to tell you, what I look at in this is that Florida State, yes, are they on their way back? Probably. Do you know what it's like to go into freaking Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge? It's comparable to going into Texas A&M. It's just insanity there. Death Valley, they call it. This is a place that you go, and it's not a place to – this is not
a
good place
die.
for you to have to
Death
start
Valley,
off the damn season with a new and I don't care if they like Brian Kelly there, they don't. They're going to love him by the time this is all over.
I agree. He
the
could
guy
be there
has
for
been a
years.
good coach. The guy has been a good coach for a long time. There's a reason they gave him $100 million. There's a reason. The dude knows what he's doing. Okay, and I'm going to tell you now, with the quarterback they have coming in, I know that it's taken him a long time to pick him, but this kid, Jaden Daniels, this is a dual threat guy. He fits in well with what they are star-studded at every position. Florida State may be on its way back. LSU never left. The coach was not doing well at LSU. It wasn't that they didn't have players. They are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. I don't think that this is a hard one particularly. I think that LSU covers this and then some.
So Coach O, right? He was the one that left. Is that right?
Yeah, and things were just changing.
But that's
Coach
fine.
O.
Either way, all I'm saying is the big deal here is you get Brian Kelly's coaching with Coach O's players. Coach O's players are still good, a lot of them. I know he didn't have the greatest recruiting class when he left, but a lot of the But anyway, I'm going to keep going. And
I think it was 12 or 13, though.
Yeah, no doubt. It's still great. And so another thing that I like about Brian Kelly is the holes that he didn't like. They did really well in the transfer portal, like free agency. Let's just call it free agency. They brought in 5 guys on offense and 4 guys on defense. They got Jaden Daniels that I love from Arizona State. I think if he puts together a good season, he is an NFL talent. This guy's going to play in the league if he puts together a good season.
Dan sure has the athleticism to play.
They have one of the best wide receivers. They have one of the best wide receivers in the country.
Butte.
Yep, I'm going to say his name wrong. You said it right. Keyshawn Butte. That guy is fun to watch. I can imagine they always have a good running back. Offensive line's always good. LSU,
their defense is always lighting people up.
Florida State,
I don't think,
like you said, kind of with the Florida thing. You're like, you know what? We're betting based off of hope. You don't need hope to bet on LSU. You're betting on talent, and coaching.
They keep the best of Louisiana around. Louisiana is a hotbed for football players. They get a lot of guys from Texas. They get a lot of guys from Florida. This is not a problem for them. I think that they did themselves a favor. They didn't get Lincoln Riley. I think that was the best thing that could have happened to LSU. Lincoln is not a defensive coach. I think he should have taken that job. But I think that you got Brian Kelly. I think that you got the right guy here. I think that they're a dark horse. For me, I like them better than I like Texas A&M this season. I know nobody else does. I do. So I feel like this is one of your dark horse, really, really good teams at LSU this season. So, okay, last game. This is our 7th game, our final one.
It might be our favorite one.
I think it's my favorite one.
My favorite.
The number 5 Notre Dame Fighting Irish, number 5. At number 2, Ohio State at the Shoe in Columbus. 17.5 ain't enough.
That ain't no lie.
Just ain't enough. I think this is the most ridiculous thing in the world that these guys are even ranked number 5. They lost the best pieces of their team a year ago, and they still have them number 5. I don't understand it. I think that you look at Ohio State, they've got C.J. Stroud. He's the Heisman favorite coming into the season. They have easily the best receiving room in the country.
Not close.
They've got a top 2 or 3 running back in the country, and they brought in Knowles as the defensive coordinator from Oklahoma State, who had a historical defense a year ago. This is a bad situation for Marcus Freeman. Bad game. Game.
So
you're number 5. You're going to drop out of the damn thing possibly after this.
I'll tell you what. I don't think they're going to drop out of the thing, but they're going to be on the low 20s. They're going to be bad. But they lost. Think about this. Let's just think about this. 1, the reason we're getting such a discount, the reason it started at 14 and moved to 17 is because of that number 5 next to their name. The public loves when there is a number next to a name, and they see 5 and 2 and 17 points, and they are just, oh my gosh, give me Notre Dame, give me Notre Dame. That is what is happening. You notice the Sharps are moving the line in the opposite direction. Now, what I want to tell you is he just told you they had the best quarterback. He just told you they had the best receivers. Oh, yeah. And Notre Dame lost like the best safety in the country to the NFL. Yeah. And so now that's a big hole.
And don't have the same quarterback. They don't have their same running back or their same receiver.
This is their best players. This Easy pick. Let's go. Ohio State is going to crush them.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Irish fans, I know that you're going to hate us for this, but you're going to get smoked this weekend. That's just all there is.
Nobody's safe. Irish fans, bookies, Oregon fans. Ain't nobody safe.
I hope that you love the picks. I think you'll love them a lot more if you actually go bet them. But get out there. Hey, if again, like, subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe to this video. We are getting a lot of momentum here. We want to keep on doing this. Help us out, man. That helps the algorithm just if you hit the like button. So, talk to us. Tell us where you think we're wrong. We love to hear it. So, again, thanks again. This nobody's safe, though. Get in there and find out. Make your money.
Nobody's safe.
Follow us if you want to win.
10 out of 10 with the perfect scope. Trust go in the process. Understand it when you work it, grow. I'm the best you never heard before. Blessed to have this urban glow. Set aside semantics. I'm the one. Yeah. Living on the run, what you want? Die a legend or live quietly forever under sun. Undecided, you'll be silent, you'll get buried just for fun. I'll be carried by the giants to the ocean's floor with drums. I'm practically mythology, I'm glad to see the prophecy. Celestial, my skin is black, so is my psychology.